Every kid's dream growing up is to play professional sports, and every parent's dream is for their kids' dreams to come true. Today, we will discuss the awesome, but very rare times both of those do happen. Welcome back to Eternity Hoops, where today we will rank the best father-son duos in NBA history. Larry Nance Sr. and Larry Nance Jr. We'll start off the list at the number 7 spot. Larry Nance Sr. was drafted in 1981 and went on to play 920 games in the NBA across two teams, the Phoenix Suns and the Cleveland Cavaliers, splitting his 13-year career in half, playing 6.5 seasons apiece for both organizations. In those 13 seasons, Nance collected 3 All-Star appearances and 3 All-Defensive Team nods while averaging 17 points and 8 boards a game. A very solid NBA career for the father of this duo. Nance Jr. followed in his dad's footsteps, entering the NBA in 2015, 21 years after his dad's retirement. Since then, he has played for 4 different teams, his best years coming in Cleveland with the Cavaliers just like his dad. Nance Jr. played 4 seasons with the Cavs, averaging 10 points a game in 27 minutes played. Though Nance Jr. has yet to accomplish any major achievements, he has carved out an NBA role for himself as a steady vet presence who can play meaningful minutes and will be entering his 9th season this year. The successful father-son duo that finds their way into number 6 on this list is headed by Hall of Famer Gary Payton. Payton was drafted to the Seattle Supersonics, where he played 13 seasons. During that 13-year span with them, he averaged 18 points and 7 assists. Payton would then go on to play for 4 more teams in 5 years before he called it a career. While he was a great offensive player, Gary Payton made his money on the defensive side of the ball. His on-ball defense was so good, he was given the nickname The Glove. That great defense translated to a Defensive Player of the Year award, which made him the last guard to win Defensive Player of the Year before Marcus Smart won it in 2022. Meaning he was the lone guard in a 26-year span to win the prestigious award. He averaged 2.9 steals in that Defensive Player of the Year season and ended his career with a total of 2,445. Good for 5th on the all-time steals list. When his retirement came around in 2007, Payton had stocked up numerous awards, including the aforementioned Defensive Player of the Year, an NBA championship, 9-time All-Defensive Team selections, 9-time All-NBA selections, and 9 All-Star Game selections, just to name a few. His son, Gary Payton II, joined the league in 2016 as an undrafted free agent who was ultimately picked up by the Milwaukee Bucks. While not as talented as his dad, he does take after him in play style, as he is a great on-ball defender, as was key in that role en route to winning his first NBA championship in 2022 with the Golden State Warriors. After such a successful playoff run, both individually and as a team, where his defense and athleticism showed out in the spotlight, he was given a 3-year, $26 million contract by the Portland Trail Blazers. He has since been traded back to Golden State, where he is averaging 6 points and 1 steal a game. At 30 years old, GP2 still has time to tack some accomplishments onto his resume that as of now is just 1 NBA championship, aka the most important accomplishment in the sport. One of the more unique father-son duos will come in the 5 slot with Arvydas Sabonis and his son Domantas Sabonis. Arvydas Sabonis is said to be one of the most skilled big men of his time. With his passing creativity, his touch, and post moves, he had guard-like skills to go along with his big man body. And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But before we get there, more of Arvydas Sabonis. Arvydas is sort of a what if, as if he didn't join the NBA until he was 31 after playing 9 seasons in Lithuania and Spain. And then when he finally did join the league, he dealt with injuries. So his time in the NBA was only filled with flashes of what he could do and how good he could be. But that was still enough for him to be remembered as one of the most unique and skilled bigs of his era. Averaging 16 points and 10 rebounds for his best season in the NBA and 12 points and 7 boards for his career, Arvydas Sabonis may not have reached his full potential in the NBA, but he sure did teach his son everything he knows, and it shows. Domantas Sabonis joined the league in 2016, going pick 11 to the Oklahoma City Thunder after a stellar 2-year career at Gonzaga University. His rookie season was nothing special, as he only put up 6 points and 4 boards per game. But soon after, he would have a breakout year and continue from there to become one of the best 4s in the league today. Just like his dad, he had a guard-like skill set in a 7'1", 240-pound body. His ball handling is good, his passing is great, his LQ and feel for the game is next level, and he shot 37% from 3 last season. At only 27, Sabonis still has his entire career ahead of him to add to a promising legacy, which consists of 3 All-Star appearances already. Number 4 on the list belongs to Tim Hardaway Sr. and Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Sr. is one of the most electrifying ball handlers to ever play in the league. After being drafted 14th overall to the Golden State Warriors in 1989, he went on to have a stellar NBA career that lasted 13 seasons and ended with the most prestigious honor, being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Hardaway Sr. put up 18 points and 8 assists per game for his career to go along with his highlight reel of ball handling, which helped him record 5 All-NBA selections, 5 All-Star appearances, and the 1989-90 Rookie of the Year award. After retiring in 2003, his son was just 11 years old, but was soon to be a highly touted 4-star recruit. After 3 successful seasons at the University of Michigan, Hardaway Jr. declared for the NBA draft, where he was selected 10 spots later than his dad was, going pick 24 to the New York Knicks. He would play 3.5 seasons with them, with a 2-year pit stop in Atlanta before being traded to the Dallas Mavericks in 2018, where he still plays today. 9 seasons in, and Hardaway Jr. is a quality NBA player, currently averaging 14 points a game for his career. Number 3 on the list is former number 1 overall pick Mychal Thompson and his son, 11th overall pick Klay Thompson. The Thompsons have had major success in the NBA, especially Klay. But before we talk about Klay and his success, let's introduce you to the man who even made an NBA life possible for him. Mychal Thompson was drafted 1st overall to the Portland Trail Blazers in 1980 and would go on to have 6 straight double-digit scoring seasons with them before moving to the Los Angeles Lakers. He would continue his scoring prowess with the Lakers and put together 3 more double-digit scoring seasons in a 4-year span, as well as averaging 6 rebounds per game during that time and helping them win back-to-back championships in 87 and 88. Mychal would go on to average 14 points and 7 rebounds per game during his successful 13-year career. His son Klay entered the league in 2011 after 3 seasons at Washington State University, being drafted by the Golden State Warriors. Since then, Klay has gone on to have an extremely successful career. Alongside his Warriors teammate Steph Curry, Klay has changed the future of basketball with his 3-point shooting ability, hitting 2,213 threes and currently sitting 11th in the all-time three-pointers made rankings in just 9 fully healthy seasons played. Klay is one of the all-time great shooters to ever play the game. But that's not all Klay does. He was a stout defender too when healthy, making an All-NBA defensive team in 2019. With still plenty of time left in his career to add to his legacy, Klay can finish up as a top 50 player ever, considering he already holds 4 NBA championships, 5 All-Star appearances, 2 All-NBA nods, and the aforementioned All-NBA defensive team. The rest of the list, we find ourselves in legend territory, and to start us off, we go to number 2, occupied by none other than the legend Kobe Bryant and his father Joe Bryant. Joe entered the league in 1975, playing 8 seasons before deciding to go play pro overseas in Italy. In that span, he averaged 9 points and 4 rebounds per game while playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, the San Diego Clippers, and then finishing with the Houston Rockets. His son Kobe, a highly touted high school prospect, went straight to the NBA, foregoing college and embarking on an NBA journey that'll never be forgotten. At just 24 years old in 2003, Kobe and his Lakers team completed a three-peat, making him a 3-time NBA champion only 7 seasons into the league. After that, Kobe would go on to win 2 more championships, going back-to-back in 2009 and 2010 to make his total 5, an MVP award in 2007-2008, get 15 All-NBA nods, and be selected to 18 All-Star teams, which is second most of all time. He would also gift us some of the craziest and most memorable moments in NBA history, like scoring 81 points in a game versus the Toronto Raptors, scoring 60 points in his final NBA game, hitting too many clutch shots to count, and many, many more. Kobe finished his career in 2016 and has since been inducted into the Hall of Fame, but tragically passed in early 2020 before he got to enjoy the great honor. His passing shocked the world and still has a hold on the NBA community. He lives on as a unanimous top 10 player of all time, arguably top 3, and is truly one of the greatest icons in American sports history. To complete the list, the top spot goes to the all-time great Steph Curry and his dad, Dell. When it comes to this list, the Currys being ranked as the best father-son duo was not a hard decision to make. and that is mostly in part to just how good Steph Curry is. Dell Curry played 16 seasons in the NBA after being drafted 15th overall by the Utah Jazz in the 1986 draft. Dell would finish his career averaging 12 points per game, 1 steal per game, and with 40% three-point percentage while winning the 6th Man of the Year award in the 93-94 season. So while Dell had a solid NBA career, inspiring his son Steph might be his greatest basketball achievement. Steph Curry is heading into his 15th season in just a few months and already has an argument of being a top 10 all-time NBA player. Steph's career started a little slow with ankle injuries, but once it got going, it never stopped. Changing the game with his shooting ability, inspiring the generation after him, and breaking records are things that seemed like they'd just come natural to Steph. He was the first player ever to hit 400 threes in a single season, making 402 in 2016. He has also hit 300 plus 4 times. Nobody else has done it more than once. He holds the all-time record for the most three-pointers made in NBA history at 3,390 and counting, which is currently 417 more than second-placed Ray Allen. He is a 43% three-point shooter for his career, which ranks 6th all-time in three-point percentage. And that's just his three-point ability. Steph is also an all-time great ball handler, an elite off-ball player, and one of the best superstar teammates the league has ever seen. At 35 years old, Steph is already a 4-time NBA champion, 2-time MVP, one being the first unanimous MVP in NBA history, has 9 All-NBA nods and 9 All-Star appearances. To say Steph is a once-in-a-generation player would be underselling what he has done in his 14-year NBA career so far. Steph's accomplishments, along with Dell's career, is enough to rightfully deserve the #1 slot. But what's even more impressive is that Dell has another son, and that son is also an NBA player. Seth Curry, the younger brother to Steph, is not just a side note in this story either. He's carved out a very solid NBA role for himself. He has now played seasons in the NBA and is a knockdown shooter just like his dad and brother, shooting a whopping 44% on his threes, the best percentage in the family. With the top spot of the list currently owned by the Currys, will there ever be a change? Arguably the greatest player to ever play, LeBron James, has a son, Bronny James, who is set to join the league soon. Could they take over the top spot? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching another video from Eternity Hoops. If you like this or like content like this, don't forget to subscribe.